Breaking news. I said it's a breaking news moment. Well, here it is. Luther LLC special broadcast with host Christopher Hale every Sunday at 6 p.m. on licmc.net, radio, and social media. Keep it locked in.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Christopher Hale. I am the Chief Operating Officer of Luther LLC, and tonight we'll be joined hopefully by our CEO and our Administrative Assistant, Dorothea Hood Johnson. Dorothea Johnson Hood. Let me say to you, thank you for allowing this broadcast to be in your homes, on your phones, wherever you're doing it. Thank you for taking this time and having this moment. You could have done so much more, but to take the time to just sit with us for these few moments of enlightenment, to kind of share some of the things that are going on in our community, as well as with this brand new company that we have here, Luther LLC. We got a whole lot of good news to share with you tonight. And as soon as we can, we're going to start it. I see now that Sister Dorothea is joining us, and I would suppose sooner than later our CEO will be joining us as well. Let me say good afternoon, Sister Dorothea. Can you hear us?
Good afternoon. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
We can. It's
Amen.
good to see you. It's good to see you. We'll be waiting for Brother Alonzo. He says he's going to be joining us tonight as well. But we were just kind of greeting everybody, saying hello to everyone and thanking everybody for being a part of our show tonight. We've had a whole lot of stuff that's been happening, and a lot of it you were able to see last week. We talked to Latanya Felder and to Dr. Adrian Johnson. The two of them both have missions over in Africa, and Latanya should be now in Benin, Africa. We were able to catch her just before she left, and she and Dr. Johnson got together, and man, they had a good time. So that if you have the time this week, go back and watch the show from last week. Yep, that's a really exciting and informative show. Now, we've had Thanksgiving weekend since I think the last time we got together. We met last Sunday, and that was right after Thanksgiving, and Dorothea was gone. Now, Dorothea, tell us about your travels. Where you been, sister?
Oh, I just did a quick trip to New York. It was really nice. I needed the quick trip. So Thanksgiving, of course, was that Thursday, and the next day was my anniversary, which would have been 10 years. So I didn't want to sink in sorrow, and I didn't want to be at home sad because of the loss of my husband. So my friend said, let's go to New York. And so I went to New York, and I came back Sunday and was exhausted, tired. I mean, but it was good to get away. I had a good time, but I was happy to be home also. But had a good time. We went. I mean, that mall in New Jersey is just outstanding. So that's where I want to go. I want to go back to that mall. But just nice to get away. And I had a breather, so just nice to get away. Yeah.
We are glad to have you back, and we are also glad that you had a good time. Most of everybody know that we grabbed you and brought you on board just at a most. It's almost one of those times where you were sinking in despair and the loss of your husband, and the Lord spoke to my heart, and it seems like it was a good move to come and just extend this opportunity for you to join us here and be a part of this great movement of God
Yes.
here in our city. And I must say to everybody, you all, Sister Dorothea Johnson Hood has been nothing but a straight good blessing to us
Oh,
at Luther LLC.
God sent to me.
I tell you, she is our contractor that we are serving right now. We know we're serving Carter Metropolitan Church. The last group that we served was the Mack Avenue Community Church, but now we're currently under agreement with Carter Metropolitan, and we're trying to give them the red carpet treatment. So
Amen.
part of our rehearsal includes a fellowship meal, and
Yes.
we started it off, and we still gonna keep. It's my turn coming up next now. We had a little break. I told them we're not gonna eat during the holiday break. That was enough food around for everybody. I didn't think nobody needed nothing to eat. But this past weekend we had a rehearsal after Thanksgiving, and Dorothea brought some most delicious chili. And but
Thank you.
was that a salad? One
Yes.
of my members spoke to me today and said that she was so glad that we had something, because she sat down when she got home with her husband and ate a bowl of chili, and he didn't have anything. I said, "Oh, that's not good. She should have shared something with them." So I
Yeah.
told her, next time, make sure you bring your husband something home to eat.
Absolutely.
We got plenty. And she had a wonderful array of salad and chili and water. Man, she's just, every rehearsal we have
Yes.
a fellowship meal, and I think that's going to be that is a good blessing. And to
It is.
see you take part of it, and she lays it out just right, y'all. Every time we got a rehearsal, I go back there and I say, I'm just so amazed at how you just organize everything so nicely and quickly. But we have so many things that's in front of us.
Oh, yes.
There goes our CEO, Brother Alonzo. Good
Hello,
afternoon, brother.
sir.
Can you say
Hello,
something?
everyone. Sorry I'm late.
Oh,
That's
that's
okay.
right. We were just talking. We just got started, and we had greeted everybody, and we were just letting Dorothea kind of give us an update on her Thanksgiving weekend. She told us that she went to New York. I didn't know she had gone to New York. Hoy, hoy, hoy. And she had a good time, and we were just talking
Yeah.
about the wonderful the pair that she's made in our company, and how she comes right in and fits in with our plan, and how she works so well with our fellowship meal that we have after
Yeah.
every rehearsal.
I
Every
enjoy
Saturday.
doing it. I really enjoy doing it.
Well, it looks like you're enjoying it, and the people seem to really enjoy it as well. I know last Saturday when you were away, they were asking about where's Dorothea? We're not gonna have no meal today. I said, no, y'all just had Thanksgiving. Go home and eat some leftovers. But you came back with a wonderful array of that chili and salad. And I was just telling them how one of my members spoke to me today and said how on time the meal was, that she went home and
Oh,
had
so
a
funny.
meal, and that I ate and my husband did. I said, don't do that no more.
No
He
more.
might tell you to get out the choir. If you go home next time, make sure you take your husband something. I know our guitar player, when he gets ready to leave, he always takes something home for his wife.
Always.
Our pastor, who is listen, we are one of the most blessed churches I've seen in a long time. Our pastor and first lady sing in the choir, and they all make sure they go back and get a fellowship meal.
Yes, they do.
All right, we were just kind of going over some of the things that Luther has done. Listen, y'all, we only have 3 more weeks, and the year is over. Isn't
Lord.
that something? 3 more
Yes.
weeks, and we'll be in a whole new year.
Amen.
Now, we did something a few weeks back, well, about a month back, and we started talking about it, but we didn't really want to unveil it until we actually got all of the paperwork and all of the right signatures and all the right authorities. And now I'm pleased and happy to say that we have also started a nonprofit
Yes.
by the name
Amen.
of
Yeah.
Joy Ministries. And
Mm-hmm.
Woo, woo,
listen,
woo, woo.
Brother Alonzo is
That's
having a
something to shout about.
oh yeah, it is. Oh yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
I met with our producer earlier this afternoon, and she said this is for next year. I said that's for next year. I don't know if she's listening, but I'm gonna ask her if you got it around. Kind of show everybody what we're gonna be doing. Our new logo for Joy Ministries, and what's gonna happen is at the end of this year we got we got three more shows before the end of the year. But in January, the first Sunday in January, we're going to switch our show from Luther Presents to Joy Ministries Presents. And
Okay.
we'll be able to move up because it'll be time now. It'll be time to start working on Joy Night once
Amen.
again. We'll hopefully we'll be able to go back to New Bethel this time a little stronger than we did before. Uh,
Yes.
Amen.
we're going to be working through the Joy Ministries Network, and even with that, my good brother, friend and brother Adrian Swanigan, the pastor there at Carter Metropolitan, has agreed to let us use the youth church in the building to begin
Mm.
having our meetings there for
Mm.
Joy Ministries. And if that ain't a blessing, I don't know what it is. That's a
Amen.
That's listen.
beautiful
That's
facility.
more than a blessing.
All we've got to do is go in there and clean up and spiff it up a little bit, and then we can be able to start having services there. And
Mm-hmm.
I know right now we're going to try to shoot for one in January and see how well it goes. We may just go with one service a month, and then we may have to go with one service every Sunday. I'm not sure yet. I got to sit down in our time and have our little meeting with the three of us. We're not going to
Right.
do it online where everybody can hear us, but we'll talk about whether we'll have that service early or whether we want to blend it in with our broadcast, because we do now have a broadcast that we
Yeah.
can do. And I think it would be nice to start having a live audience with our show. You know, we won't have to
I think
be
so
so
too.
be so disconnected. Right now, we're trying to do this because literally it is more convenient. We are way on the east side. Dorothea is way on the west side. Uh,
Yes.
Brother Alonzo is further up the street. We on the same street, thank God, but it's just easier to do that. So we're going to be trying our best to move in that manner. We'll have a meeting sometime in the near future so we can talk about the time for our show. I don't look like we lost Dorothea. Did we lose her? Oh man, I guess she'll get her back. Well, there she goes. She's back.
Here I am.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll meet and we'll discuss the time if we're gonna do a live service and how often we'll do it. Uh, I think right now it'd be good to start off with the fourth Sunday in January. Be our
Okay.
premier service, and we'll talk about that because I kind of want our CEO to address us that night. You know,
Yes.
I think it would be a good service to feature our CEO because that brother got a lot to say, and maybe next time we have a service, we'll let our sister Dorothea lead and lead our service, and then I'll come back
Yeah.
and do. Of course, I'm used to it, so I think I can do it. But I think it would be a good idea for our very first service that we feature our CEO and let him
Amen.
bring a word to the people of God in the way that he knows how to do that. And
Amen.
we'll build on that. We were able to announce today that we're going to be working with Carter Metropolitan to help them feature what we named 100 Years of Music, and that's going to be held the 23rd and the 24th and the 25th of May
Mm-hmm.
in 2025. What is so exciting about 100 Years of Music? First of all, we're going to celebrate 100 years of Carter Metropolitan being on that corner, serving the people that's surrounding in that West Grand Boulevard and Warren area. And I think
Amen.
with that, I got to that church maybe back in the 70s. We moved up to Detroit maybe about 71, 72. And that was the first church I joined. And I've been a member there since. I had to start going, started preaching and got called into the ministry. And then I started serving uh,
Mhm.
those different churches. But since I've been on my sabbatical and I'm not really
Mhm.
able to pastor in a large church or a church at all, I've gone back home to help my good brother Adrian Swanigan in the music
Amen.
ministry. He is
Amen.
so gracious to still make sure that everybody understands that I still got all my paperwork. I've still got my ordination,
Mhm.
ordinations. Oh man, I got some of everything. I'm in full connection, and elder, I'm a deacon, and that's so kind for people. You know, sometimes when you're unable to do for some people, they kind of take you down a peg or a notch. So, but
That's
this
true.
brother has made sure that everybody understands I've lost nothing. I'm still where I was, and then I'm going to be moving forward. Now, Brother Alonzo, why don't you give us a recap of what your last one? How was your Thanksgiving, brother? We haven't talked to you on the air since you had Thanksgiving break. Tell us about it. How was it?
Oh, thank you. Actually, this year I actually cooked a little for the family, and we
Okay.
sat around and watched a lot of holiday movies and stuff like that. And because when I was growing up, I was always going to visit families and taking plates home and stuff like that. And this year I actually just wanted to spend some time with the family and
Okay.
watch TV and stuff like that. The stuff I always said I wish I could have did. I'm doing it now, actually, Pastor. So I actually enjoy actually spending time with the family and eating and stuffing myself with all kind of food that I don't need. And now I'm walking around here like a big old bloated pig. And I'm still trying to do a little exercising and stuff like that. But
But I
I
heard.
enjoyed it.
I
I
heard.
enjoyed it a lot. This was a holiday. I love Thanksgiving. It's a time that I get around a lot of my long distance family members and stuff like that. But this was a time that I actually just did it with the wife and the kids and stuff like that this year. But I
Okay.
Listen,
really enjoyed
Alonzo.
myself.
Listen, Alonzo. The girls told me yesterday that they threw down eating on Thanksgiving. They said they killed the macaroni and cheese. They was like the oldest girl said she went back about 3 or 4 times. She said they
Sneaking.
were like she said no, they were like nonstop eating. Like they just ate. Like it was so much food. They enjoyed themselves. So
And I'm
that was the
glad they.
conversation. That was the conversation
Oh,
yesterday. I was like, wow. And I said to her, look at you,
yes.
don't look like you eat much. She said, oh, don't, no, 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 I eat.
Oh
Oh
man.
yeah, I just actually got done talking to them about the song they about to do this upcoming week, and they
That's
just so
right.
excited about it. Did you hear them singing yesterday in rehearsal again? They just sound like little angels. They make
Oh
me
my
so
goodness.
proud.
I'm talking about angels. I love it. I love to hear them sing, but I love their spirit. So let me tell you,
Yes,
your children, their spirit is just so pure and honest, and you can tell that their upbringing is just a wonderful upbringing. But then the respect and level that they have for the adults, and when they talk about Pastor Hale, they always say yes, Pastor Hale or Minister Hale, but it's always the adults with a handle. So they were raised like
yes,
how we were when we were little. But let me tell you, I look forward to seeing your girls when I come on Saturday, because I'm like, they not here. They not here. They bring me joy in my heart. But then when they go in and they sing, and I'm in the lobby hearing them, oh my God,
Oh yeah.
angels for sure. But God
oh,
has a
thank
calling
you.
on them. And, my prayer is that they stay grounded, their feet stay planted in
That's right.
church, and that
That's right.
nobody deter them from what God has for them. I pray for
That's
you and
right.
your wife because it's very difficult in these times to raise children and to keep them focused. So
Yes,
I'm grateful for Minister Hale being in their lives. I'm grateful
yes,
that you
yes,
allowed him to even to nurture them, to talk to them. And but the beauty of it is that they're there at Carter and they're excited about singing.
yes,
And so I take my hat off to you, your wife, as well as Minister Hale, who has allowed them to say you can do it. And what she said to me was that Minister, she said Pastor Hale told me that you don't never learn one verse, you learn all the verses, whether you sing them or not. I
I
said,
talk too
look,
much.
I said, well, yep, he's right, because that's how he taught us. So that's what she said yesterday when she came out of rehearsal. She
You
told me,
told on me. They weren't supposed to tell that. Good grief. Anyway,
guess
listen,
what?
we
That just
talking.
shows you that they listen, they understand,
That's
and
right. That's
they
right.
took it with their heart and not
That's
Listen,
with
right.
anything. So hey, I tell you guys, that choir, it's difficult to have choir rehearsal on Saturdays during that
Yes.
time. And but the commitment that you guys have, that's what I love, is because you guys are committed to being there. And I got there at 3:15 yesterday, and I ain't know Minister Hale was gonna be coming down the steps. He said, everybody late today, huh? I,
Ah!
I
Ah!
said, I'm sorry. I was
uh,
in traffic. He said, mm-hmm.
uh,
So when you think he's not listening and not paying attention, trust me, he's listening, he's watching, paying close attention. So you gotta
li-
love him for that.
listen,
Yeah,
if y'all hadn't paid attention, let me go ahead and make a formal announcement. On next Sunday at the Carter Metropolitan CME Church, 1512 West Grand Boulevard, the children of our church are going to be presenting their Christmas program
mm,
under their leader, Sister Mary Troutman. And
okay.
I think that's Alonzo's relative there. But
Amen.
That's my
they're,
grandma right there.
yeah,
Okay. Hey, her.
and they're
Hmm.
the Lakia and Kalia. I've known them since they were little babies. Well, I've known Kalia. Since she was born. I think
Mm-hmm.
Lakia, I've known her since she was what, 6 months old.
Yep.
Now when I see them walking around, they're teenagers now. They're
Yes.
teenagers. They're little ladies, man. I get freaked out in in my mind. I can
So
only
respectful.
imagine. I can only
Mhm.
imagine what Alonzo was going through. But I remember when we think your daddy was changing your diapers. You couldn't
That's
be
right.
scared. Uh, but
Respectful.
yeah,
Like you say, just they're young ladies. They're
yeah.
definitely young ladies.
Well, I think it's important that our young people see the young
Mhm.
people that are using God in their lives, and
Yes.
I,
Amen.
I always kind of push that. A lot of people
Hmm.
sometimes they get a little upset because you just always picking on young people. I'm not picking on them. I am featuring them when they're doing good. I'm gonna let,
Hmm.
just like they talk about when they doing bad. When they do something good, I'm gonna talk about it. And
Amen.
I'm very glad and I'm very proud to have this young brother as even take on the job. He's most people have to say, I want you to do this, I want you to be the CEO of the company. He immediately said okay. A lot of people are,
Yes.
I don't know, I don't want to do that. They lay around, they're lazy. This brother here has taken on the job with a great amount of sincerity and seriousness. You
Hmm.
know, sometimes I have to remind him. I said, "You're not my boss."
But you know what though? But
He
but you know
quick
what
to
though,
tell
Chris?
me.
What I love about him is that in spite of him, being the CEO, it has not gone to his head. He is
That's right.
still he's still that guy that
Mm-hmm.
but he has the business side of him, and he knows how to
Yes.
incorporate that laughter with the business. And let me tell you, on Saturdays I look forward because I know he's gonna tell me something that's gonna make tears come out of my eyes laughing so hard. And he always has something funny to say in passing. He'll say something real quick in passing, and then
Yeah.
as he gets to where he going, he'll look back at you, and then he'll start laughing and keep moving. And I'm like, you ain't right. You're not right.
No,
You
I'm
know.
about to tell you something. I'm about to tell you something funny. When we was leaving rehearsal yesterday, we was on the freeway. I was telling Pastor Hill we need to slow down and make sure Mr. Cooper ain't on the side of the road walking.
Yeah. All right. That's a private joke.
He was very
Brother
quiet.
Cooper, we just having fun. Don't pay him no attention. That's Alonzo. You know how he is.
Yes, that is the Alonzo, Brother Cooper. I listen. I
Listen,
felt bad for Minister Hill because he asked it, then he took it back. He was like, "I can't ask you to do it." And then I looked at his car and I said, "Wait a minute." So Alonzo, his truck is in the shop. How you gonna take him home? He was like, "Oh, we'll figure out a way." I said, "In that? Oh no, oh no." So
Yeah,
that's
you
why.
still took it, and you still took him to the house. Look, God bless you. Because last time I had took him home, right? And
Right.
and Mr. Cooper, if you listen to, I love you. I ain't talking about you.
Yeah, you
And
both.
you remember, he was like, go this way. I had to look back at him. I said, you say one more thing, you gonna be walking. Hey,
But you know
but
what? Let me
he
tell you
was just
something
trying
about
to
Mr.
make sure
Cooper.
I knew where I was going, and I been knew where he was living there. He just forgot. I forgot where he lived at.
Say something about Mr. Cooper. Mr. Cooper know his way around because
Yes,
I
he
Yeah, he
missed the
does.
Van
do.
Dyke exit, and he was like, no worry, come up on Gratiot." And when I tell you, he took me about around the back way, and I ended up at his house. The exact say he just told me, "Follow what I'm telling you." So, Mr. Cooper, I take my hat off to you. You know the city of Detroit, and God bless you. It's
And to
always a
see him
pleasure.
coming to rehearsal every
Amen.
Saturday, like how he doing, and knowing what he just came through is just amazing to me.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So, Mr. Cooper, when we're talking about you, we just want you to know that we're talking about you of joy, that we're
And sit in
happy
the back
that
seat, don't
you,
say nothing.
More than
we're
likely,
happy that, that
if
you're
you listen
making
to
it to
watch this, he ain't
rehearsal.
gonna do nothing but laugh. I can tell you that now. He ain't gonna do nothing but laugh. But listen, come here. Tell us about yesterday. You had a little business meeting, didn't you?
I did have a business meeting, and the business meeting actually turned out really well. I met with a young man named Ryan,
Uh-huh.
and because we're incorporating this new company that Minister Hill talked about. We want to make sure that everything we do is decent and in order, and every I is dotted, every T is crossed. We don't ever want anybody to say that we're coming through the back door trying to do some side stuff. So
Uh-oh.
when meeting with Ryan, this was our payroll person. We
Yeah.
want to make sure that we are doing what's, like I said, everything is proper. So I'm
Right.
meeting with him. He put us, put everything on the right track. I have another follow up call with him on this Wednesday to make sure that everything is how it's supposed to be, and if I need to sign anything else, or if the minister Hale needs to sign any more paperwork. But that meeting went very well. But the most, what was intriguing about that meeting?
What's that?
Ryan thought that he was coming to service first and then have the meeting. And he was prepared to stay for church service. He was so intrigued about the rehearsal. Now,
Wow.
this is not a person in our neighborhood. This is not a person of color. And he
Right.
asked even about having wedding ceremony there. So he asked a
Wow.
lot of different questions. He looked at all the pictures that was in the lobby of Carter. But he said I was ready and willing to stay for service.
That's nice.
So, and then when he heard the choir singing, he got up and walked to the door to listen, as we were having our meeting. And you know what, that right there spoke volume to me, because if we touch a young man's heart, and then he talked to me about his Thanksgiving, and
Hmm.
how he hasn't spent Thanksgiving with his father. He gave like this testimony and how his father is homeless.
Okay.
Mm.
And he said, his father was a businessman who had
Hmm.
everything that you could possibly think of, and started hanging out with the wrong crowd of people. And when you get in the business world, sometimes you have to be careful, because people who pretend to be your friends are really not your friends. So how we
Right.
said
Right.
it, a wolf in sheep clothing. Well, anyway, his father was a big time a person. He worked with the Red Wings and all of that. And his story was so profound, and I had tears in my eyes when he talked about how his father was homeless and how he destroyed um him as a kid. So
Mhm.
I had to tell him, I said, when's the last time you talked to your dad? And he said, well, before June, it had been 10 years, over 10 years.
My
And he
God.
said, well, he
Wow.
called my mom. So sometimes God brings things together for a purpose and a reason. Chris had no idea this was going on. He just said, you got having a meeting with this guy named Ryan. You need to be there, have the meeting. And here's
Mhm.
what I told him that brought tears to his eyes. I said, God does his best work when you're in the valley,
Come on now.
Yeah.
because
Come on.
the only thing you can do is look up.
That's all.
Once you hit the valley, listen, I've been there. I've been in the valley. We've all been in the valley where we've struggling, and not
Amen.
with addiction. I'm not talking about with addiction, just struggling in life.
Yeah.
And the only thing you can do is look up. And I told him, continue to pray for your father. But most importantly, I said, I'm praying for you for healing, because he said that I've been told he was a good father. I said, what do you mean? He said, the memories I have is not good memories.
Mm-hmm.
And so that, because my father, God rest his soul, I have great memories of my father. And
Mm-hmm.
so to hear a young man talk about his father, but not in a negative way, but in a hurt way,
Right.
because he wants his father in his life, but right now he's not ready to accept him. So I say we're gonna pray for that. So I say
Yes.
to you, Minister Hale, you didn't know what you did when you invited him to come to rehearsal, rather
I
than
did.
have just a regular meeting. He
Okay.
wanted he wanted to be in service.
Okay. Okay. Well, see, I
So
didn't know. I didn't know. I'm
you
just moving
didn't.
about. As you say, I'm trying to cross
Amen.
all my T's and
Yes,
dot my I's because this is a new venture.
yes,
And like we have the Luther
mhm,
LLC is a
yes,
for-profit company. But I knew the work that we were doing currently did not fall in that category. So that's why
right,
we're going to make the switch. Now we're going to make the switch because we're going to move into a nonprofit sector. We'll
yes,
still keep the Luther LLC. And I think at some point in time, once things get going, we'll be able to have this
correct.
show as well. We may have to do a different day and a different time,
Mhm.
but Luther LLC will still be having Luther LLC Presents. Now, probably you or Alonzo will probably have to head that show while I
Okay.
do the show on Sundays. Now, I see it's time for us to go. See, our 30 minutes is
Already?
just that quick. Uh, we want to
Wow.
say we want to say thank you to
Thank you.
everybody for watching us today. We want to thank our producer, London Washington of licmc.net, social media and radio. Of course, we're going to ask you to share this as much as you
Please.
can. We are on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, as well as the licmc.net radio family.
Mhm.
Share it. Give somebody the joy. We have joy in our broadcast. Every time I talk to our producer, she reminds us that we have a pretty good show. And I kind of like what we did today. Our time left up so quick
Yes,
to hear all of your perspectives from Dorothea and from Alonzo, you sharing the Thanksgiving time with your family. That was just the most beautiful thing
yes,
I've heard. And for the brother to come to do the business and to have the layers pulled back so he felt comfortable enough to share all of that
yes,
information with you, that's nothing but a blessing. And it looks
yes,
like the hand of God is on this project as we move forward. Don't forget, we're going to have two more shows and then we're going to switch over same time, I think. We'll have the same time, the same day. Instead of being Luther LLC Presents, it should say Joy Ministries Presents. And we'll be talking about what we're getting ready to do with Joy Ministries because guess what? The chairman of the board of it, Joy Ministries is Brother Alonzo Starling. And the administrative assistant of Joy Ministries is Dorothea Johnson
Amen.
Hood.
Amen.
hey,
And the director of Joy Ministries is yours truly. So we are still in accord. Now, next in Joy Ministries, what we're going to do though is we're going to have to form a board of directors. So
yes,
may as well announce it now. We need 7 people. We got to have an odd number, 5 to 7 people. I'll take 5. To that, if you want to be a part of Joy Ministries board of directors, will begin our interviews in January. You'll
yes,
have the opportunity to sit with Alonzo and Dorothea and myself as we interview you to become a member of the board of directors. And it's off and going as soon as it's like gunshot is gonna go off, as they said, and we'll be off and running to claim the things that God has in store for us. Now, let me say thank you, Alonzo, for coming to being with us today. I know you're a
amen.
very
Thank
busy
you.
brother, and tell your family we said hello. Much love to you all. Dorothea, thank you for your time
Thank you.
being with
Wow.
us.
You're
And
welcome.
we're going to have 2 more shows this year. One of them, we're going to just kind of celebrate Christmas. I think next week
Amen.
we'll just celebrate Christmas. We're going to probably do a little decoration and play a Christmas song or two, and we'll have a good time thanking God
Yes.
because this show started literally, well, I think back in, I think we started in June
Yeah.
2024, June or July. I have to check and see, but we've been on the air now since that time, and now we're getting ready to go into a new year with a new determination, and we want our audience to continue to grow. Again, thank you, everybody, for being with us. Have a wonderful evening. God bless you all, and we'll see you out in the world as we move through it. God bless you.
Amen.
Remember my dad's favorite saying, if adversity
Breaking news.
be the labor great or small, do it well or not at all. Good night.
Good night.
Breaking news. I said it's a breaking news moment. Well, here it is. Luther LLC special broadcast with host Christopher Hale every Sunday at 6 p.m. on licmc.net, radio, and social media. Keep it locked in.